Okay, welcome everyone to our Tuesday evening class from the Sandy Granite Family History Center, coming to you via broadcast. And this evening, we're especially excited to have Sister Janet Helen presenting to us. She's going to be speaking on the topic of fitting family history into your life. This is really an essential one for us and for the people that we work with, for our friends and family, to help them understand that, yes, you can fit family history into your life in meaningful ways. Sister Helen has worked at the Sandy Granite Family History Center for a number of years. She's the Assistant Director of Patron Services there. And we're excited to listen to what she has to say. She has a wonderful testimony of family history. And at the end of her presentation, we'll have a few minutes for question and answer, and we'll have you unmute, or you will be unmuted at that point so you can ask your questions. So Janet, thank you for being here this evening, and go ahead, take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad to be able to present this. It's been fun to prepare for it and update it. It seems like things are changing all the time, so I learn every time I present this, so I'm glad to have this opportunity. I hope whether you're a beginner or a seasoned consultant or a patron, that you will just be able to find some way to begin or enhance your family history experience. Elder Cook quoted in April General Conference of 2018 that none is exempt from this great obligation. Place or distinction or long service in the church will not entitle one to disregard the salvation of one's dead. So if none of us are exempt, then we seem like we need to find a way to get involved with family history. My experience was with the New Family Search. This was a program that was launched many years ago. It kind of was the precursor to our New Family Search family tree. My sister and I were very excited, and we went to a seminar that presented by a very zealous family historian. We loved her, believe me, we loved her. But she gave us so much information, and we were writing so fast all these ideas down. And she said that she spent hours a week doing it at the cost of doing her laundry and dinner and sleeping. And we walked away, closed our notebooks, and I did not do family search, family history for many years after that. It was just way too overwhelming. But then I ran across this really great article by George Durant in the Ensign of January 2009. He said that he was sitting in a Sunday school class where the teacher said that we all needed to be involved with family history. Well, he had served on the General Board of Family History for the church, and he felt like he had done his duty. So he kind of was a little unhappy with this directive that everybody needed to be involved with it. He said, I don't have time, I want to paint, I want to write, but something just kept nudging him and saying, you need to get involved again. So he called up his family history consultant in his ward, and sure enough, there was some family members that had not yet been found. So what he said was, to do family history research, I did not need to give up writing or painting. I just needed to set aside a specific time each week and dedicate it to family history. I decided that it was time to give in and rid myself of this lingering guilt. This article kind of changed my life as far as family history work is concerned. When he said to set aside a specific time each week, it could be 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours a week, and just know that that time is carved out of your week. It's very doable to do family history. So I just wanted to let you know about his experience that he had and how how it can really change the way we approach family history. In a Roots Tech presentation, there was some ladies who presented families discovering family history together. And I really liked their approach to doing to the time management for family history. And they made 4 points that I thought were really good to consider as we try to fit family history into our own lives. They said, set a timer, make a clear plan, stick to the plan.
Janet, can you
Yes,
hear me?
I can.
It looks like we've lost your audio.
Oh dear.
Is anyone else able to hear Janet okay, or is it just me?
I can hear Janet.
Yeah, I can hear just fine.
I can hear her too.
Me
Okay.
too.
Thank you.
Me too.
Anyone?
Okay, I'll continue then.
Good. Okay.
I really liked these 4 points to manage our time with family history. If you have set aside 2 hours, set your timer for 2 hours, and when you're done, move on and make a clear plan for each time you have this session and stick to that plan, because it's so easy to get wrapped up into going down this path or going down another path, and then pretty soon you're in it 3 or 4 hours. So set your timer, make a clear plan, stick to the plan. And then they also recommended being accountable to someone. When your 2 hours are up, go report to someone or have someone give you a call or something. I'm not that bad yet, but if that's something that is helpful to you, then I would recommend that. Excuse me. So my job tonight is going to give you lots of ideas, and it might feel that I am dumping the whole load of hay on you. Your job tonight, though, is to find out what you can do to fit family history into your life. So listen to the promptings of the Spirit, and He will teach you what maybe 1 or 2 things that will best fit, that will help you become involved. You should not try to do everything I'm going to tell you tonight. It's too much. But try to listen for the thing that might be the most helpful to you. All right. I've divided up my presentation in time increments. So we're going to talk first about what you can do to fit family history into your life in 10 minutes. The first obvious thing is to create a login on Family Search if you don't have one already. If you don't know how to do this, I will just put a plugin for the amazing, incredible, fantastic family history guide. It is such an amazing tool when you're doing your family history. It's got so many tutorials on how to accomplish just about anything you want to do in Family Search, Family Tree, and other sites as well. So if you don't know how to create a login, you can go to the Family History Guide, Family Search, Project 1, Goal 1, learning how to navigate Family Tree, and it will give you step-by-step how to create a login. Now, one thing I would highly, highly recommend is that you keep track of your username and passwords. When we serve up at the center, sometimes when patrons come in, that will take the majority of the time that they are there to retrieve usernames or passwords. So keep those usernames and passwords. They're very, very in a handy place, so you don't have to spend your time redoing that. Also remember, at the top of the Family Search page, on the upper right-hand corner, you're going to have a circle with a question mark in it. That's the help button, and you can also ask questions there, and you will get really great tutorials there as well. Okay, once you have created your sign in, your login, your account on Family Search, go to your settings in another 10-minute session and make sure that all the accounts and your contact information are accurate. That is your phone number, your name, how you want your name displayed, your email. Email is a great thing to have on Family Search so that people can contact you if they have questions. Okay, another thing that I really enjoy is setting the permission for people to see the relationship viewing. You get to this by going again to your accounts, your settings. And when you go to your settings, you're going to see account notifications and permissions. Go to the permissions tab and click on it, and then you can click on relationship viewing. This is really fun so that when you're in your tree and you see other people working in your tree, you can see the relationship that you have to that person if they also have enabled relationship viewing. So if they haven't, you can email them and ask them if they wouldn't mind giving permission for you to see that relationship. So that's another really fun thing to do in 10 minutes. Okay, here's another thing that I think is really valuable to do. Go to the Family Search blog and subscribe to stay informed of the latest and greatest. You'll get articles from Family Search, the updates. And by the way, you can read those articles when they come to you in 10 minutes generally. So that will keep you informed. Okay, another thing that can be done in 10 minutes is to sign up for the Family Search Connected accounts, meaning Ancestry, Find My Past, My Heritage. Those are all really great research sites to help you do your research for when you're in your family tree and you're looking for records for your ancestors. The way you do this is you go onto Family Search and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and you will see a link to Solutions Gallery. This is what it will look like. And under the Solutions Gallery, it will have all of those research sites, and it's very intuitive to sign up for those. So that is another way to spend 10 minutes. Okay, after signing in, another way to spend 10 minutes is to check your messages. Up in the right-hand corner, you have a speech bubble that says messages on there. Just today, I had a really fun experience checking my messages. I had helped my mom, my siblings and I had helped my mom clean out 3 rooms of her basement. And in the basement, we found a whole bunch of pictures from the ward that I grew up in. So people, and even the old building that used to sit on First Avenue and K Street. It was a grand old ward building. And it was wonderful to find those pictures. So in the process of culling through and going through those pictures, I had uploaded a bunch of them to Family Search. And just today, I got a message from one of the daughters of a couple in the ward where I grew up. And we reconnected after 40 plus years. It was really, really fun. So be sure to check your messages from time to time, look at conversations and discoveries. That's also another fun way of spending 10 minutes. Okay, another thing is on your homepage of Family Search, you're going to have recommended tasks. They'll have record hints for you, or they'll have data problems. There's all kinds of things that you can do. You can attach a source to one of the people. You can see on this screen that Joseph Harrison Tribe has a record hint that I could work on in about 10 minutes. Generally, that's about all it would take. So that's another fun way of doing it, of spending 10 minutes. Okay, another thing we can do in 10 minutes is standardize dates and places. Why do we standardize? Why is it so important for us to do this? So when the church has all these records that they are indexing and adding to their database, they have a standardized date and a standardized place, which helps them to link those records into your family tree. So by standardizing the dates and the places in your family tree, it allows the church to bring in those other records. The way you standardize is you just go on to your to a person's page, and you can tell if it's standardized because it generally has a little icon in front of it, or you'll see the date, the day, the month, and the year fully spelled out. So standardizing, actually, I kind of enjoy doing that. It doesn't take very long, and it's very valuable in further research. You will also see if there are data problems in your tree. You can see at the top of the screen here, there's a red square with an exclamation point, and that will easily help you identify where you may have some data problems, including standardizing. Okay, so our next increment of time is 20 minutes. So you have 20 minutes, what shall we do? Okay, what's new on Family Search? That's a really fun place to go. Again, you're going to go to the question mark with the circle up in the right-hand corner and tap on, I'm going to move this over just a little bit here. You're going to tap on the question mark, and at the bottom of that menu, you're going to have what they call helper resources. When you go to that helpers resource page, at the bottom of the page, it's going to have a link to what's new on Family Search. Go there and kind of see what Family Search has been up to. They have, even since I have gone through this presentation in the last week, there's been 2 more added down there. So there's always something fun that they're doing. But the one that I have really enjoyed recently is the new ancestor discovery pages. It will bring up a whole page of an ancestor, and it will show where they were born, some of the historical facts, how many children, who they were married to. It will show the dress of the day, what the origin of their name was. So that's a really fun discovery experience. If you're with your children or friends or a parent, you can get on there and have this really fun discovery experience. And that might take you beyond 20 minutes, but I mean, you really can do it in 10 minutes or 20 minutes. That's been a really fun one to discover. Another one, again, on the helper resources page is this easy invitations. When you tap on the easy invitations, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. When you tap on the easy invitations, it's going to bring up a menu of all the folks in your ward. And beside their name, they're going to have possible tasks for that person to do. So it might show a record hint, it might show a temple opportunity or a discovery experience. The easy invitation message says the following members in your ward or branch have a temple opportunity, a record hint, or a discovery experience waiting for them on Family Search. Some members do not have an email associated with their Family Search account or have not seen these Family Search messages in their personal email box. So then you can copy the link next to their name and you can send it to them by text or WhatsApp, or you could even just give them a call and say, hey, I noticed you have a record hint. Can I help you out with that? So another great way to spend 20 minutes. Okay, I am a huge fan and a believer in journal keeping. So I think journaling is a very important part of family history work. So in 20 minutes, you could assemble, this is one of the best ways I have seen of starting a personal history if you haven't already, or doing one for a family member. Just getting a loose leaf and putting tabs in there with blank paper in there. You can do a written journal, you can do a drawing journal, a photo journal. And I've even seen where people have done audio journals. But these journals that we keep are precious legacies for our posterity, and we get to discover who we are. I have a little video for us to watch.
She taught me that to stay young, I have to stay in the game. Ela me mostrou que o medo não é a força mais poderosa do mundo.
自分の声を見つけたかったら、人の前で歌うことだと教えてくれました。
Sie hat mir beigebracht, dass Gott mich sieht, auch wenn ich ihn nicht sehen kann.
She taught me that solutions are often preceded by patience.
我想跑到别的地方去玩，他叫我要静下心来。Ella estaba ahí cuando las cosas más pequeñas marcaban la diferencia. Она была моей опорой, помогая мне пройти путь, который я не мог пройти сам.
Era là a tenerci uniti, anche se abitava molto lontano.
Я хочу, чтобы вы познакомились с ним. Ich wünschte, Sie könnten sie treffen. I wish you could meet her.
Vorrei averla conosciuta, perché quando alla fine ho saputo di più su di lei, ho capito me stesso.
I really love that video because it makes me so grateful for the journals that my grandmothers kept, that my husband's mother kept. It's me, the pictures that we have of them. It's just so precious to us to have those. And so if you haven't started a journal, or if you're a little behind on one, don't let it overwhelm you. There's ways of catching up without letting it become too burdensome. There's a great article in the Ensign, August 2003, where it has a bunch of prompt questions to help jog your memory, or a family member's memory on things that were important to them. So when you create your binder with the tabs in it, make tabs for childhood things, teen years, adult life, mission, college, dating, marriage, whatever you feel are the best ways to organize and remember events in your life. And then put pages in those. When you have a memory, let's say you have a memory of a vacation that you took, then it's very easy just to go to that tab of vacations and just jot that memory down. And that way it's keeping a journal or keeping a personal history can become much more doable. Another place you can find prompts for a journal or for doing a family personal history is, again, going to the Family History Guide Project 2 Goal 3, or on the Family Search blog, they have 52 questions in 52 weeks. And that is also a great way to get some memories going and write down some things that are important to you and important to record for your posterity. Okay, in 20 minutes, you can add a memory to Family Search. This memory that I have a picture of right here is my mom when she was 5 years old, and my grandparents had built this dollhouse for her, which I now have in my possession. My mom passed it on to me, which is really special. But we sat down with her after I had uploaded this picture, and you can see here at the bottom of this screen, it says record a memory. So I sat down with my mom and I had her just talk about receiving that dollhouse, and it's very special. It's really very special, and you can do that 20 minutes, no problem. Okay, another thing that I've discovered recently is sharing memories with your family members. So when you go to your Family Search homepage, on the top banner, it's going to have a gallery, and it's going to have all of the things that you have uploaded as a memory if you have done this already. And then it's going to have a share button where you can share in a slideshow or share pictures with other family members through their email. This is a really fun one to do as well. Okay, 20 minutes, you can resolve some duplicates. Go into your family, search family tree, and just start methodically going through your family tree, maybe one person at a time, and making sure that there are no duplicate records of that individual in your tree. Sometimes those records are created, for instance, when I created my tree, when my sister created her tree, when my mother created her tree, we had all created duplicate records of my father. And that was necessary because he was still alive. But when he passed away, we had to merge all those records into one person. And combine those into what you feel is the most accurate and most complete of all the records. You can also find a blog article on that on the 9th of April 2020, and how to merge in your tree. That's also on Family History Guide, Project 1, Goal 11. Okay. Planning family history activities for your family is so wonderful. And there's so many great resources too. You can plan a family history activity in 20 minutes, no problem. Sources for planning family history activities can be found on Family Search under Activities. Where Am I From? All About Me, Compare a Face, Record My Story, Picture My Heritage, In-Home Activities. Another place I'm going to tell you about is the My Family booklet. They don't have it online anymore, but you can order booklets from the online church store. So that's a great activity to do with somebody who hasn't really started their tree. It gives you the 4 generations that you can help start adding to your family tree. Again, the family history or the Family History Guide is an excellent place for activities. There's just hundreds of them on there. There's some for youth and individuals and kids and families. Just really, really excellent resource for that. I'm going to show you another little video from the Family History Guide, how you can do a family activity. Okay, so definitely that family history activity took a bit longer than 20 minutes, but you can for sure plan activities within those 20 minutes. The last one that I have for 20 minutes is going back to the Family History Guide. I want to point out to you under the Faiths tab on Family History Guide, there's the Church of Jesus Christ Come Follow Me Companion. This will help you to plan a family history emphasized lesson for the Come Follow Me Companion. Reading through that in 20 minutes can help you enhance your lessons, your discussions with family and friends on Sundays. Okay, let's move on to 30 minutes. Okay, the first one that I have under the 30-minute category is to actually now write in your journal. Now that you've established your journal and you've got your tabs, take 30 minutes on a Sunday or an evening or sometime and open a tab up and write something about your childhood, or write something about school days that you remember, or your grandparents, or a vacation. That's a great way to spend some 30-minute time doing some family history. Another way you can keep journals is you can do audio journals or written journals through an app on your phone. These are 3 apps that I have found that I think are pretty good places to go if you wanted to keep a journal on your telephone. Okay, 30 minutes of indexing. Why do we do indexing? Indexing makes the records searchable online. When you index, those are all those records that will come into your family, your family tree as record hints, or when you go out and search for records. These are the records that we find, the ones that have been indexed. I found on What's New, Family Search expanded its free online archives in just last month, 36 million new indexed family history records from all over the world. So indexing is such an important thing that we can do in 30 minutes. And it's actually very fun too. So I have another little video about indexing that will help us understand why it's so important to do indexing. video really rings true to my heart too, because we've had that experience many times when we've been searching for a family member and we can't find either a record on them or any information, and then we'll come back a few months later and revisit that same ancestor. Now we have all kinds of records that put together this story of who that person was and brings them to life for us. So indexing is a way to spend 30 minutes. You can learn about how to index from Family Search, or you can learn about it from the Family History Guide. Project 5, goals 1 through 6. Okay, you can learn a new skill to use in your family history research. The Family History Guide is a wonderful place to do this. You can go to one of these learning path projects, Family Search, Ancestry, MyHeritage, or Find My Past. For instance, on Family Search, if you just set aside 30 minutes and went through its project and goal by goal, you can become pretty proficient at Family Search, and you will learn things that you thought you knew, and there's more to learn. I've done this several times where I've been going through a project or a goal and I thought, oh, I didn't know about that. And they also have this wonderful online tracker where you can keep track of the things that you have gone through. And then when you come back for your next 30-minute session, you can pick up where you left off. So that's a great place to learn some new things. Here's one that's kind of dear to my heart. In 30 minutes, you can organize a fireside to have with one of your family members. As a family, we did this with our parents. We did that with my husband's parents and with my parents. In that 30 minutes, we planned a date and a time and a place where we could hold the little meeting or the fireside or whatever you want to call it. I gave to my parents the prompt questions from that.
Apparently we did lose the feed. So hang tight. Okay, we're going again.
Okay, do you see my screen or do I need to bring it back up?
You need to reshare.
Okay.
Great.
There we go.
Okay. Let me see if I can get this back the way it should be. Oh, right here. All right. I think we're back in business. There we go. Are we good now? I don't know what happened there.
It's looking good. Thanks,
Okay,
Janet.
great. All right. I was talking about the fireside that we had held with my dad, and I took a little bit of the audio from that fireside and I uploaded it to his Family Search account. Let me just go back one. There are converters for your phone or on the computer where you can convert video to an MP3 file, which is what you would upload to Family Search. Okay. Ordinances ready. This feature can be accessed either by your computer or your phone. It only searches your own personal line. It won't search a spouse's line or a friend's line or another family member. It will only search your line. It allows you to reserve up to 4 to 5 baptisms, 1 endowment, or 5 sealings to spouse, and up to 10 sealings for children. While we can't really go to the temple right now, I can feel that it's coming. So we're going to be getting some ordinances ready for when we come. And while you can have a really great experience just coming and reserving a name on ordinances ready, and then taking that card to the temple, I highly recommend that you will have a more enhanced experience if you will go through some of these steps to take that ancestor to the temple. Once you reserve that ordinance that you want to take to the temple, I recommend that you go back to the person's page and standardize vital information, attach at least 2 sources to that person, and check for duplicates so that we're not duplicating temple ordinance work. View your relationship, and if possible, add a memory. The reason I really recommend that we don't, like I said, you can still just take the card to the temple and the work will be done, and that is important. But the experience that you will have by going through these steps, taking the 30 minutes that it would take to go through these steps and really discover who this ancestor is that you are taking to the temple. I had an experience with a sister just last week where we had reserved an endowment from her family tree. And we went through these steps together and had such a beautiful discovery experience. We standardized the vital information. She already had many sources attached. There were no duplicates, but by going through those sources, all of a sudden, this name on a card became a real person. We discovered who her husband was, who her children were. We discovered that she had died young from an obstruction. And all of a sudden, this person came to life, this woman came to life. And now, when my friend takes this female to the temple and performs her ordinances, it's going to mean a lot more to her. And I promise you, by taking the 30 minutes or so to just verify this ordinance and become familiar with who you're taking to the temple, will greatly enhance that experience that you will have in the temple. Okay, we're at 1 hour. Spend an hour on Sundays working on family history. President Nelson said you can experience true delight on the Sabbath from family history work. Searching for and finding family members who have preceded you on earth, those who did not have the opportunity to accept the gospel while here, can bring immense joy. You can invite someone into your home to help you. You can do it on Zoom. There's so many. I feel like the last year has given us many more avenues of doing this work. And now we have the family history open by appointment. So you can make an appointment and come to the center and have a consultant help you there. Okay, there we go. Now, how to find your temple and family history consultant in your ward. Go to your tools, either on your phone or sign into your account on the web, and go to organizations, and it will list in your ward who your temple and family history consultants are. And I'm sure that they would be happy to consult with you for an hour and help you with your family history work. Okay, well, you're doing one of those things right now. You're taking a class, and there's many more to come. So I encourage you to continue to take these classes. They're so helpful. Another place to spend an hour is to watch a video from a Past Roots Tech conference, or BYU Family History Library has wonderful webinars. You can teach a beginner how to create a login. You can teach a beginner how to navigate on Family Search using the Family History Guide. Another great way. I also recommend that when you are working with somebody, keeping your session to an hour is just about the right time. It doesn't overwhelm a person, but you can really get some good things accomplished in an hour. Okay, I don't know about you, but I have had many of these boxes handed on to me that are full of family history pictures, documents, and all letters, all kinds of great things. Take an hour when you're handed one of these boxes and just start culling through and sorting what is in the box. Make some folders. Have one for photos, have one for letters, have one for documents, however you want to organize that, and just start putting those things in those folders and tackling that box that seems so overwhelming sometimes. I did this last spring in the year 2020. That's how I spent some of my quarantine time. And it really worked out so well. There's a wonderful webinar on the BYU Family History Library by Jean Naisbitt. And it talks about inherited family records, now what? And she teaches you how to store and sort and share. If you want to have a little more information on that, I can give you that link, or you can just search it on the website, BYU Family History Library, Inherited Records. That's a great webinar to watch. Okay, if you have 2 hours, hold your fireside or your meeting. We just had the most wonderful experience doing this. My husband's parents are immigrants. We were able to hear their story from beginning to end. We've never heard it from the beginning to end. And in those 2 hours, we just had the most wonderful experience. Listening to them talk about coming from Norway and the experience that they had meeting the missionaries and immigrating, and the experience they had settling here in Utah. It's just an absolute joy to have that time together. So I would recommend gathering somebody in your family and having them tell you their story. Research is always, yes.
Did you record that?
Yes, we did. We videotaped it and audio taped it.
Okay.
Yes, it was wonderful. 2 hours researching in Family Search, that's always a great way to spend 2 hours. Again, kind of go through the same process, look for standardized information, check for duplicates, attach sources and memories if you can, and then prepare the temple ordinance if it's needed. I like to look at my tree in the fan chart because it shows me very easily where my holes are, which you can see here on this screen. Okay, just kind of to wrap it up, Sister Nelson says preserving ancestral stories is important, but it should never be at the expense of completing our ancestors' ordinance work. We need to make time for our ancestors' ordinance qualifying information. Elijah came not only to stimulate research for ancestors, he also enabled families to be eternally linked beyond the bounds of mortality. Indeed, the opportunities for families to be sealed forever is the real reason for our research, and that was President Nelson. So when we have the privilege of going back to the temple again, those 2 hours doing those ordinances for our loved ones is a very special way of spending time doing family history. Taking those names to the temple, having done that research on them, having seen a picture or seen where they lived or seeing what their family looked like will give us such a beautiful experience in the temple. And I'll finish with this.
As church
Okay,
members,
so
our
that's
interest
all.
in family history work has been motivated by instruction from the Lord that our ancestors cannot be made perfect without us, and we cannot be made perfect without them. That means we're to be linked together by the sacred sealing ordinances of the temple. We are to be strong links in the chain from our ancestors to our posterity. It's wonderful to turn the hearts of the children to their fathers by telling important family history stories in ways that are accessible and memorable. However, if we leave it at that level, we haven't really done enough. If we know who our ancestors are and know marvelous things about them, but we leave them stranded on the other side without their ordinances, such diversion will not be of any help to our ancestors who remain confined in their spirit prison. And that means sacrificing time we normally spend on other activities. We need to be spending more time in the temple and in doing family history research, which includes indexing.
It is my testimony that however fabulous your life is right now, or however discouraging and heartbreaking it may be, your involvement in family history and temple work will make it better. It is my testimony that when we show the Lord we are serious about helping our ancestors, the heavens will open and we will receive all that we need.
I would like to extend a challenge to each one of us. I invite you prayerfully to consider what kind of sacrifice, and preferably a sacrifice of time, you can make to do more family history and temple work this year. Brothers and sisters, together we are engaged in the work of Almighty God. He lives. Jesus is the Christ. This is his church. We are his covenant children. He can count on us.
President Oaks said, "Our effort is not to compel everyone to do everything, but to encourage everyone to do something." It's my experience and my testimony that it is possible to fit family history work into our lives. I was sitting with my daughter-in-law a couple of weeks ago, consulting with her, and she has been feeling the nudgings of doing family history work, but she has 3 little children. And she said, "I just don't feel like I have the time to do it." And she remembers the time where she would go down to the family history library with her mom as a young girl, and they would spend hours researching and going through microfiche and looking up records. I said, the difference now from then, I said to my daughter-in-law, is that we don't have to spend that time. We don't have to leave it up to the folks who are retired and have that kind of time. We really can fit it into our lives. The church has made it so easy for us to spend 10 or 20 or 30 minutes a week being involved. And I think she was very encouraged to know that she could do it even at this stage of her life. I have a testimony of family history work. I know that it is a blessing to those that have gone before us and a blessing to us as we engage in this work. And I know that it is possible for us to be involved with it. I'll just show you that I do have a handout. I hope that you saw that on the link on the Granite Family History Center. So if you want some of these links that I've used in my presentation, there's the handout there. Also, I'll just refer you back to the Family History Guide under the intro. They have a tab on there for 15 minutes. So there's other ideas there as well. Does anyone have any questions for me or any more ideas or input? I'm open for that.